Hey guys, what's going on? Before we start this video today, I want to let you guys know that there was recently a family tragedy with Smithy D. He could really use some love and support from everybody in the Galaxy Heroes community. So there's a link to his channel down below. Just go watch one of his videos, comment on, just let him know that you guys are thinking of him. He could really use some love and support from everybody here in the community. So just feel free to let him know that you guys are thinking of him and that you just want to be there for him right now. Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at a team called the Kenobi Swamp. It involves a General Kenobi lead with Hermit Yoda, Wampa, Sabine, and the other guy that I completely forgot about, Grand Admiral Thrawn. Let's try this again. Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at a team called the Kenobi Swamp. It's a very popular Phase 2 team. In fact, it's probably the best Phase 2 team out there for the Heroic Sith raid. It involves a General Kenobi lead with Hermit Yoda, Wampa, Grand Admiral Thrawn, and Sabine Wren. Now I know what you're saying, those are some very hard to acquire characters. You got the 2 Guild event currency characters, you have the Heroic AAT reward, and then you have a legendary character with Grand Admiral Thrawn, not to mention Sabine Wren. So it's not exactly an easily accessible team. However, we have been finding that this team is consistently doing the best out of a lot of your Phase 2 teams out there. So with this run, it's going to be from Merc Baka from my guild Forsaken One, so big thank you to him for sending me this footage and letting me do this video on it. So let's go ahead and go into how you want to mod these characters before I show you the footage of the run, and then break it down so you guys can see the strategy and what you want to do for this run. For General Kenobi, he is going to be the lead for your Kenobi Swamp team, and you are going to want to make sure that he can be tanky enough to survive to the end of Enrage, and this means that you're going to stack up on the health and protection with him, get protection primaries on the triangle, on the arrow, on the cross. You can get it on the circle as well. You can also get health on there if you want, but you need to make sure he stays beefy. If you can get some speed mod sets on him and then maybe get some speed secondaries in there somewhere, that's going to be fine. Merc Baka only have at 204 speed for this run, so you're not going to need a lot of speed to really utilize Kenobi. You just need him to be there to take the hits and keep on tanking. For Hermit Yoda, your only focus for him should be speed. That means speed on the arrow, and then really high speed secondaries, and of course a speed mod set. You don't really have to worry about protection with him because he's going to evade the attacks from Scion. He is going to be able to do just fine on his own without having to worry about his survivability. So just bump up that speed because you need him to go fast to regenerate the protection with the Zeta on Strength Flows from the Force, and you are going to need him to go fast so you can constantly hand out that Master's Training buff to really bump up the damage on your team and call in a lot of assist attacks. Wampa is going to be your main damage dealer for this run. He's going to be responsible for about 90% of the damage. So you do want to run crit chance and crit damage on him and then throw offense on the cross, but you do want to have some good speed on him as well. So run a speed arrow, run some nice speed secondaries along with nice offense secondaries, and of course a crit damage triangle. You just want to bump up his offense and maybe get some bonus protection on the circle, because with that bonus protection he's going to be able to build up all of that through his abilities and constantly counter against Darth Scion, and that can cause him to do a lot of damage. So loading up on crit chance and crit damage, giving him some nice boost to his offense and speed is going to be the way to mod Wampa. For Sabine, you do want to run crit chance and crit damage on her if nothing else, but also making sure that you boost up her survivability with protection on the circle and even the cross and even the triangle. And you do need her to go fast. You could also run a speed mod set on her. The reason you need her here is for the armor shred. So the more often she can armor shred, the more damage Wampa and your other characters are going to end up doing to Darth Scion. So making sure you can have her go fast, whether it's speed mod sets or speed secondaries, either one is going to work here, but you do need to make sure you bump up her survivability because she's not going to be able to take many hits from Darth Scion, so you need to make sure that she's going to be able to withstand those hits that she does take, that way you don't lose out on her armor shred. And finally, we have Grand Admiral Thrawn, and for him, you do want to throw on some offense because that way he can counter while he has Fractured and do some decent damage, but also getting some boost to his health and protection is going to be nice because you need him here for the Fracture because of that 50% speed reduction on Darth Scion. That's going to help push out your phases, help you do more damage to Darth Scion with Wampa and your other characters. So getting that Fracture on him, you can throw on some speed secondaries as well, also boosting up his health and protection, making sure he's going to be survivable as well. But also that speed could have a secondary effect where it allows him to use his Grand Admiral command more often. That way he can restore protection on characters and help them stay alive for longer during the fight. Now, for the strategy, the first thing to bring up is how and when to cleanse the cycles of pain and suffering. And for General Kenobi, you always want to keep him cleansed as much as possible, so let it build up to about 3 or 4 stacks, but also do pay attention to if you are able to call in an ability like a Mass Assist, and he has plenty of protection on hand, feel free to go ahead and do that. Let him stack up another cycle of pain if needed. For Sabine, you do want to keep in mind that she does have her Armor Shred ability, and there are going to be times where it's off cooldown, but she is running low on health and protection, and instead of using that Armor Shred, maybe it's best to go ahead and cleanse herself to avoid a possible counter from Darth Sion that could one-shot her and end up ruining your run, because without the Armor Shred from Sabine, you could really end up getting much less damage than necessary for this team. For Grand Admiral Thrawn, you'll see during this fight, we cleanse him very early on, and then we just never cleanse him again, because he can do some pretty decent damage. You'll see during this fight, he can do up to 40,000 on his basic hit. That is some really nice damage, so you can leave Cycle of Suffering on him to help boost his damage. He's got plenty of protection on hand, and he's going to give himself plenty of protection regeneration due to Grand Admiral's command, so you don't have to cleanse Cycle of Suffering on him. It's up to you. If you're going to end up losing Grand Admiral Thrawn often, then go ahead and cleanse it off, so that way you can go ahead and keep him alive for the whole run and use that Grand Admiral command to regenerate protection on General Kenobi. And of course, with Wampa, do not cleanse it ever. You need Cycle of Suffering on him. He's your main damage dealer here. Without that Cycle of Suffering on him, you're just not going to get a lot of damage. So keep the Cycle of Suffering on him. And for Hermit Yoda, he's never going to really end up getting it anyways, because he never attacks Darth Sion or anyone on the other team, so he's never going to get cycles of pain or suffering, so you don't have to worry about cleansing him. Now, like I said before, you do want to pay attention to the abilities and what's on cooldown and how things are with their health and protection. And with that, you are going to see General Kenobi takes a lot of damage during this fight, so almost always use Grand Admiral's command to regenerate that protection on General Kenobi, because without General Kenobi, you're going to end up taking a lot of damage to your team that you can't recover from, and it's going to really hurt your run overall. So keeping General Kenobi healthy, using the Grand Admiral's command, and also the strength flows from the Force Zeta with Hermit Yoda, both of those abilities are really going to help keep your team alive. Not to mention, with the General Kenobi lead, whenever a Jedi ally uses a healing ability, all allies with full health are called to assist. And of course, Strength Flows from the Force is a healing ability, so this is going to call all allies who have max health to assist, and that's going to help bring in some damage too. So anything you can use to get assist with Wampa, use the Master's Training buff first on Wampa to get him called in right away. But also, in case you ever run to a problem where someone gets stunned or shocked, you can use that Master's Train to cleanse them in the process, because that is going to be really vital, especially for Wampa. If he gets stunned, he can't counter, he can't attack. That's really going to hurt your damage again. So making sure that Wampa stays alive, stays healthy, and doesn't have a lot of debuffs on him, that's going to be your key for getting the most damage here. And of course, like I said before, keeping General Kenobi alive and healthy, and making sure that he has plenty of protection and health on hand to withstand the brutal assault of Darth Sion attacks against him. So that is a lot of the overall strategy with this fight. You just want to keep Wampa alive, use Armor Shred as much as possible, but never try to risk it where you're going to end up losing someone if Darth Sion counters. So always play it safe. That's going to be the easiest and best way for you to extend this fight to Enrage, and that's going to help you get your most damage. However, feel free to take risks, but just be ready to have to retreat. So just play it smart, in my opinion, but if you want to play a little risky, just be ready to pay the consequences. So that is it for this video. I'm going to let the rest of the fight play out for you guys so you guys can see how it goes, and you guys can see the damage screenshot at the end. If you have any questions, feel free to ask down below. I'm sure you guys have some questions about this or comments. But thanks again for watching, guys. If you all did enjoy this video, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And to all of my minions out there, thanks again for watching, and I will talk to you guys later.